So this is going to be a weird video. I'm sure you can already tell, especially when it looks like this, when you get to pull a Wizard of Oz and see behind the curtain. You get to see what I look like when I'm not on the camera, that I just look awful. I hate how I look right now, from my hair to this stupid beard. I'm just like oily. I sleep behind a green screen, as you can see there. That's just my bed. My entire room is it's just out of frame. And another one over there. My entire room is dedicated to filming and to this channel with lights and the microphone and everything. And other than I have one section of personal stuff right there along the shortest length of wall, and that's it. I'm like physically uncomfortable in my terms of like space to try and make these videos look as good as possible, which is actually just kind of funny to me. But yeah, I was talking about how it's gonna be an interesting video, and then I've tried to make this video like 7 times, so each one is running together in my head, and I'm forgetting what I have covered and haven't covered and things like that. But this is basically, I guess, a bit of an explainer for last year, almost a year ago now. 2 months from now, it'll be when the channel just kind of disappeared for a while, and why I don't want it to happen again, but why the situation that made it happen could be happening again. And I'm making this video so that it's on record and it's known, and that I can't just let it disappear, that I can put myself out there saying I don't want it to disappear again. But why it disappeared last year was because I had graduated from college that year of 2020 in a weird time. I don't need to go into the specifics of why it was a weird time. We all know. And trying to find work during that was weird and a slow process and a slog. So I just dedicated more time to the channel because I didn't really want to go out into a deadly pandemic. That didn't sound fun to me. And so that's when the channel took off and all these different things, and it got very hopeful, but eventually money comes knocking, especially when you dump years and tens of thousands of dollars into a piece of paper that says you can work. And that catches up to me, or catches up to you, caught up to me, and I went and worked in a field that I have things I could say about it, both positive and negative, but I'm going to hold off on those because this is a public channel, and because it is public in nature, that can affect my life professionally, which again I have opinions on, but I won't be sharing them here, which sucks because there's so many. They play into so many other things I need to talk about, which means I just can't talk about them, and I can't express myself in ways, and can't make a message about my own mental health and how we should be healthier here, because the professional world deems a lot of that stuff inappropriate. And again, I have a lot of things I could say on that are probably more harsh than they would like to see. But so I ended up, dumping all my time into looking for work because I, needed to start not being drowned in debt. And that led to, me finding a job and working that. And due to so many factors, there was a lot of depression that went in with that. And coupled with eating up, the time that a full-time job does, as well as just regular responsibilities and trying to maintain a life and everything like that, I wasn't able, both mentally or physically, to do the channel for a while. And then eventually I realized that I wasn't gonna be happy anyway, so I might as well be tired, and that would be why I'm unhappy. And I'm at least happy that I'm doing something I love, which is this channel. And that's when I came back with the first Evangelion video, and then Coco, and then back to where we are now, where for a while we were even doing 2 videos a week again, which was fantastic. But you've probably noticed we've dropped down to 1 a week for a while, and some shorter length videos as well. And that's because we're entering a similar situation where, you know, that work ended because there was a contract breakdown. We were working with a client who was just awful, and I'm not going to mince words. He was racist. He was a bigot. He was awful to my boss's wife. He was awful to any of our coworkers who did not look like this, and that led to a breakdown in relations and a breakdown of the company I worked for. So once again, I was out of work. And you can't just sit out of work forever, because again, professionally, people are going to look at that and say, oh, you weren't working for so long. Why? We can't hire you, even though I was working the whole time. I was putting 11-hour days into doing stuff like this, but then this doesn't translate into my degree, and I don't have a degree to translate this into the creative world, so I feel stuck a lot of the time. But I was talking about that. Yes, that job broke down, and for a few months now, I've been just doing this because it's great, because I enjoy it and I love it, and I get to teach people and entertain people and try to make them feel new things and think about new things that they haven't before. And to me, that feels like a great purpose in life, and that's something I love to pursue, and that's why I work these long days. But again, recently I've, money calls, necessity calls, survival calls, and I have been on the job search again, which in its own is an entire beast that's like a job of its own, with doing this and emails and going on interviews where you have to sit in traffic for hours and everything that goes into that. And I will be starting work again soon here, which again will be eating up a lot of my time, shifting my mental state, different things like that. So we may go back down to a video every other week like we did in January of last year when the channel came back. Maybe if some of these shorter videos do well, we can do one every week still, every Wednesday, just like a shorter video, like a, should you watch or why you should watch video, although those haven't been doing well, so we'll have to see. I don't want to put time into making videos that are just going to tank the channel. But yeah, so this is really just a heads up that we might be going back to that reduced schedule just because of time and physical and mental constraints. And I wish again that I could get into more, but I'm kind of forbidden from getting into more right now, which is such an awful feeling. But I should be able to in due time. So we'll have another update eventually. I think at this point it's I guess it's only yearly that I've done these. It feels like it should be more. I feel like it's good to talk about these things and like let people know that no, I'm not some like I'm not perfect behind the scenes, and I know probably no one thought that, but I don't just sit down and watch an anime and these beautiful thoughts come out. They're all jumbled around up here, and I have to try and interpret them through a mixture of lack of energy and or lack of mental energy and excessive physical energy through my time constraints and mental constraints and all these things, and they come out jumbled, and you write a script and rewrite it and rewrite it and rewrite it, and eventually you have something that sounds good, and that's what people see, and it makes you seem like you're very good at what you do, when in reality you're just putting a lot of time into what you do. And I guess that's part of being good at it, but I just don't give myself credit, and I never have and probably never will. But so I feel like at times it's good to see that the people you might think are really great at what they do behind the scenes are actually just people trying like anyone else, like any rookie or any professional or anyone. I probably have so much more to say than I'm forgetting, honestly. But that Another reason for making this video is I find it very easy to shut off from things socially, especially when that communication is digital, when it's not you're in person talking to a person communication, because that's what I prefer. I'm an old man. I like to talk to people face to face. I feel like there's so much of me that is not transferable through digital. There's me going like this. There's excitement on a face. There's the tone of voice. There's so many things that don't get translated when you're just holding this and going like that. And that's why I combined with my more restrained mental capacity due to expending that energy in the job search and work and different things like that, comboed with just the depression I've been dealing with for my whole life, if we're being honest. I find it really hard to go on my own Discord and different things like that, or even talk to my friends that I know personally. I don't even do that much anymore because I just feel like I need to give my best at all times, and I'm not able to do that when I, can't get myself to think deeply or respond to people's questions with something that will be meaningful and different things like that. And that's why I've been lax on comments as well, because I want to give that output and that thought that you beautiful people deserve, and it feels like I haven't been able to recently. And I always feel like before I try doing those things again, I need to make something like this that explains my behavior. And I know I don't, and I know people won't care, but I always feel the need to explain why I've been gone and different things like that, even when I really want to start talking to people again. I don't really know why I do. It's just something I do. And then once I put this out there, I can finally start putting myself out there again as well. I also want to include a little editor's note here, because just, listening to what I'm saying, it sounds like I could be talking about, say, being burnt out from YouTube, from making this content. And I want to clarify that usually whenever I talk about things like this, and specifically right now, I'm not talking about being burnt out from YouTube. I'm just talking about being burnt out from professional work and society and life and excessive responsibility and different things like that. I love doing this. I would do this my entire day if it was possible and I could maintain a life like that. But that's not how things work. And that's what I'm expressing burnout from just general life things, not from YouTube. And I just want to clarify that here, because I don't want the idea to be that I'm burnt out from shoving myself into making content when I feel like I can't because of the content. It's because of the life. So I just want to make a clarification here. It's not YouTube burnout or writing burnout. It is societal burnout. I don't know. There's so much more to say. I could go on for hours and days and weeks about so many topics that feed into those feelings of depression and those ideas of professionalism and creativity and all these things, and how they form a socio-economical beast in our current society and the standards of society that both inhibit and exhibit those things, and so many other ideas that are bouncing around in my head, based both in the physical world and how it interacts with the abstract world, and theory mixing with reality. There's a lot that's going on at all times. There's a lot to say, and we will be saying some of that soon. I think I have some interesting ideas that are going to address some real world situations through lessons we can learn through some very intelligent and thoughtful anime, which I feel like are going to be more well written than some recent videos, just because they're ideas that have been bouncing around in my head for years and I'm finally getting them out. So I think we'll have some good stuff coming up, even if it is a little more sparse in terms of number of uploads, but it's always quality over quantity. I'd rather give you one good video than 10 shitty videos. So I could, again, keep rambling on about this, but I feel like it's a good point to end things there. before I say too much, before I can't explain too little. Yeah, it's, I don't know. It's weird this was a ramble, but it's something I need to do so I can kind of move forward here and move forward with you and for you, because that's what this is about. I say this a lot, but without you, I'm just a man yelling at a reflection of himself and a few lights and a microphone that's going nowhere. So I appreciate you and just you being you and giving me your time and attention, because that's so valuable anymore when it's so easy to just go and get lost in something mindless or meaningless like I do all the time, because your mental capacity and physical energy is stolen by what a beast the world has become. I'm honored that anyone gives me the time of day to watch my thoughts or my suggestions or recommendations or mad rambles like this. It's insane and amazing and more than I've ever deserved. 12,000, that's insane. That's seriously insane. And of course I'd want more, but it's also, again, way more than I thought I'd ever have or think I deserve, and probably think I'll ever deserve. So this is a long-winded way of saying two words, and those two words are thank you. For being here and being you and letting me be part of your life, even in this small capacity that it is. And I do hope that one day I'll be able to make that into a larger capacity to continue communicating and connecting and educating and recommending, and to live up to that professor name that was chosen randomly one day in a motel room at 3 a.m. because of anime, that is Professor. It's weird how things kind of work out like that, where I didn't make that name intending to teach, but here I am really wanting to teach about a lot of things, or at least spur some desire for education. But anyway, I'm rambling again when I was just supposed to be saying thank you for letting me do those things. So I'm going to shift the schedule around. There's supposed to be another short video today, another one of those should you watch for an anime that's coming out now. I'm going to push that to tomorrow at the usual time slot of 2:15. For where I am anyway. Usual time slot for you tomorrow, which is Friday. And I'm going to put this video out today so that I can start putting myself out there again in the Discord, in the comments and different things like that, because I want to get back to communicating with you all a lot right now. But again, I feel the need to do this for some stupid reason. So yeah, another short video tomorrow. If those do well, you might see more of them on the channel to fill out some of those slots. And I do think there still is some value in those videos. But if they don't do well, we'll figure something else out. And as always, the discussion videos, at minimum, hopefully should be every other week. If the schedule returns to what it was early this year. So the mainstay of the channel will be here. That's never going away. That's what I love to do. That's what you love, and that's what I'm going to keep providing. So anyway, that was an update on me, on the channel, and a thank you as always. So I don't know how to end videos besides saying I'll stop rambling, let you get back on with your day, and say thank you for watching. And I do hope that I will see you again soon.